Great rise. Is that better? Hope that's better for you. Get it together, y'all. I thought I had it together, but all right. So great rise, great rise, great rise. In the moonlights, beloved, you know who this is. It has been a minute, but I am still the same Queen Goddess King Advocate. And it is once again Melanated Monday. It is Melanated Monday provoked. This time around, we're going in a little bit deeper, a little bit harder, and with some solutions to the issues that we discuss. So I want to first give you all a moment to get here. For those of you who have forgotten, I understand, but get on in here. Let's do this. For those of you who are or will be returning viewers, supporters, I appreciate you for returning. For those of you who are new, I appreciate you for showing up. And hopefully, you will not be scared away. Um, there are some rules here for you newcomers. Uh, those rules are simple. You can bring your thoughts, comments, concerns, questions, opinions, even friends, family, frenemies, whatever you like. But do not bring your feelings. That has not changed. Why do I say that? Because feelings falsify facts. Okay. And we like to deal with facts or at least intelligent information and not feelings that are based on the current circumstances. Feelings tend to change where facts, information remain constant. So we like to operate in that. All right. With that being said, I'm going to give you all a moment again to get in here. I know some of you are probably celebrating what you be life to be an independence for you, and it is not. So I'll let you have that, but I'm going to touch on it just real quickly. It'll be an in and out kind of conversation. It won't even be a conversation. It'll just be an in and out. This is what I said because this is what it is, and then we out. Okay. So I'm gonna give you a moment. It will probably be quiet for just a moment, so you all can get in here and do what needs to be done. Make sure you share the video, have people come in, participate. I don't like to talk to myself. Y'all got just a few minutes, while I'm waiting and talking to myself before I make a left. And I don't want to make a left. I want to have this conversation with you all. But while we are waiting, let me also um, inform you, if you're not familiar, with a product that I have. It's a brand new product. It's an adult product, okay? So if you're not old enough to understand, don't worry about it. This product is called Sloppy Kisses. Sloppy Kisses oral massage oil, okay? This QR code will take you to my Etsy store. If you are interested in purchasing or seeing what they are, you can go click on that right there. Click on that right there. Get that code. Do it this way too. Get the code, and it'll take you directly to the Etsy store. Okay, this is what the grown folks bottle will look like. They come in many different flavors. This particular one is apple pie, and it has been one of the number one sellers. So if you're interested in that, then you know where to go. We got people coming in, so I appreciate you. Let me know who you are so I can greet you accordingly like we used to do. Let me know who it is. Come on in. Because I know you all are used to me being here at 9 o'clock. So I just want to try a little something different, see if 8 o'clock works better for the majority. If it does not, I got no problem going back to 9 o'clock. Okay. But let me know who you are. I see you coming in. So just let me know who you are. I see you over here on YouTube also. Let me know who's here so I can say what's up to you properly. Don't go away. Just say what's up. Leave a name. Leave a pseudonym if you will, but to say something. Um, as you noticed, our topic for this evening is based on some historical news. I don't usually deal with it, but I'm led this time around to do some things a little bit differently. Pardon me, it's a little warm. We are discussing the Roe versus Wade, Planned Parenthood, the consequences, the agenda, and Most High is willing, the solution. Okay, there are a lot of things that are going on um, that we need to discuss, some things we have not had a conversation about. And I was deliberately not having these types of conversations because that was not the goal of Melanated Monday initially, but here we are. Okay, so I want to get started, but I want to get some more of you in here because otherwise that's going to make me have to keep repeating myself. And I know y'all don't like that, but this is what I'm going to do. I'm gonna go ahead and start. Anyway, so again, dealing with Roe versus Wade. Um, I'm sure you already know the general of what that is. I think it started or was in effect in 1973, I believe. A young lady named Norma, let's see, Norma McCorvey is her name, had 3 children, and she found herself being pregnant with another that she was not prepared for. She did not wish to carry that child to term, and she sought to have access to a type of birth control method known as abortion. There was a law against that type of contraceptive, if you will. It was not protected at the time. They fought. The other attorney's name was Wade. That's where that came from. So her pseudonym, Roe, and the attorney that fought against her in Texas, his last name was Wade. So obviously, she won that case. She was able to move forward with making the decision on what she was going to do in regards to the child that she was carrying and did not want. So there you have the Roe versus Wade um, history. That's just the basis. What's going on, Sister? Appreciate you for being here. Um, Again, that happened in 1973, I believe. So what I want to do also, I like to always give you some background information, some stats if I can, and just let you make some decisions for yourself. Okay. Um, See, the original decision for Roe versus Wade legalized abortion in the United States in 1973. In 1965, the birth rate of Black children versus white children was 24% to 3.1. So that's in 1965. So that just shows you that Black people were having more children opposed to white women. In 1990, that increased dramatically to 64% Black women having children and only 18% of white women having children. These numbers also represent the women who were having children out of wedlock. So it doesn't represent the whole, just the particular class of women that were not married and having children. So let's keep that in mind as well. Since that point, however, every year there are 1 million children born without fathers. I'm bringing this up because I made sure that I let the men know that what's going on affects you also. Okay? It affects you. And I will show you how as we go on. But every year since, I'm just going to say 1990, 1 million children have been born in a fatherless environment. And most of that has been us as it's shown. Now, whether or not that's the facts, that's what we're given. Okay. Um, what happens when the father is absent? And we're just dealing in a black family. So what happens when the father is absent in a black union, when there is a child conceived from that? The system takes over. The system becomes the child's father. The system becomes the woman's husband. The system becomes the head of the household. The system becomes the um, the everything, the provider. So there has always been an agenda to keep black men in particular out of the household in order to gain and maintain control over the woman, over that household, how things are run. Because what she's doing is looking for someone to replace, take the place of what was missing, which is a father to the child, which is a husband to herself. She's looking for something, she's vulnerable, and the systemic daddy, if you will, steps in. He says, well, yeah, I'll be your baby daddy. I'll be your husband. I'll be your boo thing. Whatever you need me to do, just know that when I do this, you owe me. Okay? Keep that in mind. I'm going to read some of the notes that I have. So kind of bear with me for not looking at you. Like I said, when the black father is absent, the systemic father steps in from every angle, which eventually causes the black woman to seek a white male or a father figure. She will then reproduce with him continuously in an effort of the white man to reproduce himself. Now, let me explain that one. If you all are familiar with the term eugenics, that refers to a process of eliminating one race through changing the genetic makeup. Okay, so it's like watering down. So the more you add, it's like the more you add water to Kool-Aid, the more it tastes like water. Okay, the process of eugenics is to take a black woman, the black child, continuously mix the generations with something lighter in an effort to totally rid the original dominating gene, which is black. That is the eugenics. It is to get rid of the whole melanated man. So what happens, or what is happening, has happened, and if we don't wake up, will continue to happen, is that the black seed, the original black seed, what's going on, Kevin, will be wiped out, where there'll be an impossibility for melanated people to be reproduced, because the seed, the genetic code, will be weakened continuously, generation after generation. This is part of the agenda. Okay, if you get the black man out of the household, you get him away from the woman, you cause her to have a certain mentality toward him or about him, against him, and you keep giving this type of behavior to her. You keep feeding her this type of energy. You keep feeding her these types of images that says your black man ain't shit. You might as well just come on over here and I'll take care of you. If that keeps happening, it's like she's out here by herself, right? There's nothing and no one to protect her. There's nothing and no one to provide for her or defend her or grow with her, build with her. None of that. So it's like, well, I don't have nobody else. This is what you offer, and let's do this. Not understanding, not overstanding and I'm gonna be going back and forth, so forgive me, that, and not all the time, but a lot of times when Black men see Black women with white men, there is a real disgust about that. There is a sense of betrayal. And it's not because necessarily because that's her preference, it's because that's what's available for what is necessary for her and her sibling at the time. That's how it's being presented to her. This is how she's being conditioned. And you all got to think about that. This is why we keep telling you it's important for you all to show up. It's important for you to be there, to stop looking at us. I'm all over the place and I know it. I'm sorry. It's important for you all to stop looking at us as if we are your enemy, as if we are turning our backs on you, as if we want somebody else other than you to be with and to reproduce with, because that's not the case. What's happening is what has been planned to happen for a very long time, a very long time. Okay, eugenics is for real. The purpose is to get it to a point where, again, the Black man, the Black seed, the melanated anything no longer exists. In order to do that, you have to find a way to water it down. In order to water it down and make it unable to reproduce, then you have to kill off. You have to disconnect the two things that will recreate itself. You have to disconnect. You have to cause a division. You have to cause something to be physically, emotionally, spiritually, socially, and economically wrong in order for this to be able to manifest itself. And it's a happening slowly, okay? But it's happening. Again, I say, this is why it's important for you all to show up, show out, stick around, learn some things, teach each other, be strong, stop wimping out for whatever the case is, stop trying to find a reason to disconnect from your woman, stop trying to find a reason why you shouldn't be in the child's life because you don't like the mama. So what? There is an agenda against you. There is an agenda against me. So here's this. Let's just get in it. Okay, let's just get in it. There is a certain, and I don't know exactly what it is, so we're just gonna call it the G code, the God code. But there is a certain chemical, if you will, that only we can make. Okay, and then there's also only a certain chemical that only Black men can make. There's a certain thing that only you can make. That, and these are the things that make you superior in so many ways, regardless of what they tell you. Okay, regardless to what they tell you, to what they try to make you feel like you are superior in so many ways. Okay, and they know that. So what they do is they give you every reason, every condition for you to believe that you are inferior, so that what's in you never gets activated. It never will cause anything else to manifest. It will not allow the God that is you to show up and show out and do what you were created to do. Okay, it's a mind fuck, and I'm gonna say it just like that. It is what it is. If you come in here and you knew you don't like my cussing, get off, because I mean this is what I do because I'm comfortable with it. If you're not, you'll have to be, but I'm not gonna change it. Nonetheless, I'm sorry, I'm going back and forth, like I said. But so what happens here, and I want to talk. I'm kind of intermingling how white women find comfort, if you will, in producing with Black men. And I know some of y'all gonna be pissed. Some of y'all gonna feel some type of way. Thank you, D Mays. Fuck your feelings. Y'all should know this about me already. Information is information. It is what it is, and I have nothing to do with that but to give it to you. So one of the things that white women, why they like to reproduce with the Black man, is because of the G code that you have. what you are, that power melanin that you have. It has a certain, it carries characteristics that they don't have. No matter how many times they try to reproduce within themselves, they will never ever have it, ever. So they have to try to get it from you. You've heard, you know, that anything that you mix black in becomes black. So somewhere they're forgetting that, right? Because like I said, there's still a thought of the eugenics. We got to get these niggas up out of here. But the thing about you niggas is that you carry something that we need. Y'all carry something that we want. You carry something that makes you superior. You carry something that makes you very hard to destroy. Huh? Through everything you've been through everything we put you through every test that we put you through every whatever we have tried to put on you, you keep surviving some type of way. We don't know what that is, but we need it from you. So what we're going to do is find a way to get that from you, hence people showing up dead without their organs. We're going to find a way to get that from you, put it in our children, but get rid of you. So we don't want your melanin per se. We just want the power of it so that we can reproduce ourselves in your image. Y'all didn't even hear me. We don't want to look like you, but we do want to be you. We don't want to go through what you've gone through based on how you look, but we do want to benefit from what causes you to look the way that you do. Okay? Real talk here. So, the agenda, let's just get to it. The agenda is to wipe you out, but take the characteristics that make you, reproduce ourselves using your genetic code. We're going to change it so that it fits us to the point where it will only cause us to reproduce us. Indeed. Phoenix, what's going on, loved one? I'm so glad you showed up. Let me see. We want your comment to show. Show it all. You saying white women flirt with me at the jobs more than this is, I'm sure. You said you run off, you run away quick. I can dig it, brother. Please continue. Yeah, it's a lot going on that people are not realizing. And I have to bring it to the brothers like this because like I said, we're talking about Roe versus Wade. This is part of it. But you have to understand how all of this affects you because it's to get rid of you. It's to get what is in you that makes you superior. We just want this part and that part and that part and that part. And y'all got that part right there that we really ain't got. So we want that part too, but we don't want no other part of y'all. So we're going to come take this. We're going to get that out of you and try to reproduce it within ourselves and then get rid of you. So there's no evidence of you left, and there's no possible way that you can reproduce yourself because you will no longer exist. Is anybody with me? Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay. This whole Roe versus Wade situation is not simply about a woman's right to choose. It's not simply about that. What is happening is white women are not reproducing at the same rate as Black women. No matter what the circumstances are, we can be piss po. We gonna make some babies, okay? We can be filthy rich. We gonna make some babies. It doesn't matter what our circumstances are, we're going to reproduce. That's what we do. That's what we've always done. That's why they look at us as being sexual creatures. They have deemed us to be, sexually deviant and all this kind of stuff because we find a way to get it in, right? We're going to reproduce because we're created to do that. We're supposed to multiply ourselves. We're supposed to do this. What's happening on the other side, however, they are not doing the same. And when they do reproduce, hear this, when they do reproduce, a lot of them are reproducing from seeds that come from you. Mm. So they're not even reproducing a pure form of self. They're still reproducing you. This is what I'm saying. They're still reproducing you. But once they've done that, now they need to get rid of you completely. And if you all are not spiritually, emotionally, physically, socially, economically, educationally in tuned and empowered, you will continue to fall victim to the agenda of getting rid of you. Don't be fooled into believing that. This is solely about a woman's right to choose because it's not. The thing is, they want to stop they want to stop the white woman's ability to in the life because they need her to reproduce. They need her to make more of them. Why? Because they are indeed a dying breed, which is why they keep killing off y'all. Say, well, we can't kill them off quick enough. We're going to have to find a way to make more of us. If we can't make more of us quick enough, then we're going to have to find a way to kill them off. Either way, it's about the numbers. It's about the politics. It's about the economics. It's about the racism, which is that which ain't got nothing to do with the color per se. Racism isn't about the color. It's about the power. It's about the control. It's about the money. It's about the government. It's about the ability to make change. Understand that. Let me see if I can give you some more information here. Feel free to comment. And I see everybody that came in, so I greatly appreciate you for coming on in here. I'm trying to keep it moving before I start saying my what's ups, because you know how that goes. But I definitely see you and I appreciate you. So one of the children of single parent homes, mainly absent fathers, are highly likely to be poor. I said impoverished. This greatly affects the psychology of Black males in particular. It immediately causes him or her to accept their circumstances as a birthright. Now let's talk about that. So a child that is born into poverty and grows up in poverty tends to believe that that is what they're supposed to be. That is who they are. That is what their circumstances are going to always be because that's all they've ever known. Overstand the trick in this, okay? Overstand the trick in this. It is deliberately made so that the Black man thinks of himself as an inferior, as a powerless being, as a slave, if you will, somebody who cannot get himself out of the circumstance that he was born into. Psychology has a whole lot to do with how you move, how your what your circumstances are, what your environment is, has a lot to do with how you think of yourself, what you feel about you, how you perceive yourself. How you perceive yourself emanates in the world because it dictates how you behave. When people see you a certain way, they treat you that way. And it only helps if you belie that. If you belie the lies that are being told to you, you're going to live that. That's the perception that you're going to keep giving. That's what you're going to receive. And it's deliberate. It's very deliberate. All of these things go together. Like I said, it's not about just the woman's choice. It's not about that. Let's go in. Let's deal with Planned Parenthood. Margaret Sanger, I think is her name. Margaret Sanger, little Irish woman. Okay, lived in New York. Her issue began with her mother being pregnant, um, and she got sick during a pregnancy. I don't know if the child died or whatever, but it was a problem. So Margaret, she wanted to be able to do something. She felt there was some type of injustice that her mother couldn't get the care, or she was forced to have the child, whatever it was, which is why she was so adamant about having these birth control centers and different means of birth control. And she came up with Planned Parenthood. Now, Planned Parenthood means you have thought this thing out. You have made provisions for, you are getting ready to be a parent. However, the intent was not that. It should have been unplanned parenthood, because what has happened is that Black women, like I said, their birth rate was increasing, and it was increasing rapidly. But they were also having babies out of wedlock. But this was on both sides. We're having babies out of wedlock. Miss Sanger came up with the idea, well, we can fix this whole problem here. Like, you shouldn't have to have a child out of wedlock. You shouldn't have to do this on your own. I'm going to make a little center for you, and we're going to handle that problem for you. Right? Right. Okay. So what happened though was we wasn't going in there like that. Her folks were. Right. The white women were going in getting the abortions. It was 60% of them. And still to this day, it's the same. It's still more white women having abortions than it is Black women. And y'all can belie what you wish. This is facts. I looked it up. Okay. More white women are having abortions than are Black women. Margaret says, I don't like this at all, and something needs to be done about that. So she got involved with the female chapter of the Klan and came up with an idea um, to change all of that. So this is how the Planned Parenthood centers show up so much in Black neighborhoods, in poor neighborhoods, because we need these Black folks to get rid of these Black folks. They doing too much. They making too many. They're outnumbering us. And I do believe there's a passage in scripture that talks about that, but we'll deal with that in a moment. Yeah. So Planned Parenthood was really more so created, or it became more of the agenda to get Black women to have abortions. It just didn't really happen that way. Now, what's happening with the whole reversal of the decision with the Supreme Court, Roe versus Wade, is saying that, okay, well, we're going to make it so in order to preserve our people, we're going to make sure that you're not able to get rid of them. We're going to ensure that you are not able to get rid of them. So we're going to make it illegal for you to make the decision to have freedom over your body, over that thing that you may eventually carry that we need control of. Still, we're going to make it illegal for you to do anything about it, and particularly without our okay. Why is that necessary? And I'm going to pose that as a question. Why is it necessary for the government to oversee, to have any involvement whatsoever in the decision of a woman to have or not to have a child? If anybody would like to address that, if you would like to call, feel free. 770-906-5271, 770-906-5271. If you have an answer for that, and I want to keep them, kind of brief as possible so we can keep it moving, get in and out, how we do. But that's something for you to consider. Why does the government have any legal involvement or authority even to tell a woman what she can and cannot do with her body? What is it about her body? What is it about that's in her body? And I'm going to say this real quick. I'm not going to go through the details. One of the reasons is, as we know, people have been used as collateral for many debts to be paid. I'm going to leave it at that. And people are also not considered what we know as people according to law. People are considered corporations. Corporations are about money. There are controls in corporations. So just putting that out there. But thank you, Fraser Beats, for putting that there, sir. I knew he was going to be on the same brain frequency. I knew it. I already knew. But yeah, so that's that. So like I said, I'm not going to get into that tonight. It's a lot that could go on about that, but I don't want to discuss all that. So anyway, if you all have any questions, comments, or concerns at this point, please feel free to call 770-906-5271. That what I was just saying was that it immediately causes him or her to accept their circumstances as their birthright. Another thing is that they will seek the aid and guidance of what they perceive to be the authority and the caretaker. So you have children, particularly, Black children, that will look to and for a white anything as the authority that they have to seek permission from to do anything, because that's what's presented. So they belie that's it. That is the law. Okay. Another is they become docile and passive in thoughts, creativity, and behavior. So a Black child in particular will become less than what he is. He will not be as creative. He will not utilize his creativity to the fullest. He will not think for himself. He will behave in a way that, in the eyes of society, needs to be controlled and governed. It will cause anger and blame and discord between the Black woman and man. We already know that. And it reproduces destructive cycles. Okay, these are just a few of the things that occur when Black children are born, or I'll say born into poverty, and born into poverty without a man, without a father figure. Okay. Keep those things in mind, please. In the 1980s, there in the 1980s, there was an influx of out of wedlock births. I'm stressing the 80s because that was also the time of the drug influx into the Black neighborhoods. That was the time of the so-called war on drugs at the time. Um, it's just important to like look at everything, the timing of everything that's going on. So you're dealing with women that are having children out of wedlock at the same time all of these drugs are coming in, and the purpose is, but you're talking about the Black women that are constantly reproducing all these children out of wedlock. So let's bombard their neighborhoods with drugs, and maybe they'll get hooked on these drugs and they'll stop having children. They'll kill them. Whatever they'll do. But what had happened was um, the white woman became more involved in the drugs. She became more involved in the drugs, even though it's always shown that it's us that's strung out and lost our minds and whatever. The white woman was more affected by the drug influx than were Black women, even though it was in Black neighborhoods. Even though they were more involved, if you will, in the drug usage. They would come into the Black neighborhoods looking for it, right? We ain't go up there, but they would come into the Black neighborhoods looking for drugs. They would be pregnant looking for drugs. They would be prostituting looking for drugs. Whatever it wasn't what is being shown or what has been said was about us. That wasn't the case. That's not the fact. So don't continue to believe it. And I see everybody that's coming in, and I will address you. Just want to make sure I get all of my facts out. Yeah, I said it was the so-called war on drugs only became effective because there were more white teenage girls that were becoming pregnant and aborting. They weren't becoming pregnant and keeping, they were becoming pregnant and aborting. So you have a race of people that is constantly dying. And this goes against what the whole agenda was. The agenda was not to kill us off, people. It's not for us, it's for them. What we're doing here is to get rid of them. We're putting all these drugs in the neighborhood for them. We got these abortion laws for them. We have these shots, these injections for them. We have these diseases for them. Why are y'all? What are y'all doing? Yeah. If you would like to call, feel free to 770-906-5271. G Walker, let me see what you got here. You said the overall agenda of these devil worshippers is to kill you off, but the overall agenda of the devil is to kill, steal, and destroy, and he doesn't care how the killing is done or why. Exactly. Let's see. So just as long as it's done, and in this case, the killing is being done all in the name of hatred, racism, savagery. But your little cousins are killing each other and innocent bystanders more than any one of these hate groups could do. Can you say self-destruction, annihilation, and extinction, boys and girls? I hear you. I hear you. I'm not going to touch that too much because that'll go off into a whole different conversation, and I don't want to do that. But there's some truth in it. There's some truth in it. So I said, it's important for you all to, as men, to understand what's really happening here. What is the true agenda behind this Roe versus Wade, the reversal? Okay, again, it is not simply for the right of the woman. I'm sorry, the reversal of the rights of the woman to make, make a decision on what she's going to do with her body. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. It is because white people understand that one, their time is running out, and two, they are the minority, and three, we starting to know that. Okay, it's all of that. Times are changing. Revelations are being revealed. There is a massive shift happening spiritually. The world that we knew is coming to an end. The world as we knew it is about to cease to exist. Okay? It does not necessarily mean that everybody is going to be wiped off the face of the earth. It means how we know things to be, how we get around, how we speak, how we whatever is not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same. These times are changing and they will not ever go back. These people have very little time to come to the fullness of their wickedness before before the return. Come on. I don't want to start preaching, but you know what I'm saying. They have very little time before these gates are open completely, before these portals are open, before some holes are open, before some things drop off, whatever. There's very little time. And when that time comes, that is when they will learn for absolute certain. Like G was saying, the devil ain't got no friends. Thank you, ma'am. Hey, sis. Thank you for being here, loved one. I appreciate that. The devil don't have no friends. Okay? So don't be like it. Don't fool yourself into thinking that it does. Okay? If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to call in 770-906-5271. And I want to go over real quick again what's happening as far as the eugenics is concerned. For those of you who may not be familiar, eugenics is a theory of planned breeding. Okay, it's to put people together that have certain desirable traits in order to keep reproducing that. So again, what is happening, particularly with Black men and women, because we have the womb, okay, we got all the things that will bring forth you. But what is happening is that Black, and I'm saying Black men because I need you all to get it. Black men are being targeted, if you will, by white women and some Black women that don't understand or do, and they just wicked. Okay, let's just be real. I don't sugarcoat it. But you all have a certain G code that no other species of being has. You all have a G code that not even the Black woman has. Okay, there is an attempt to obtain that G code from you by any and every means necessary, to get that from you genetically out of your DNA, transmute it into something else, some other being, and it not be connected with, coming out colored, you know what I'm saying? It not be connected with that, but we just want the power. So we want everything that's in your in your organs because your organs operate different than ours. We want what's in your DNA because your DNA works differently than ours. We want what's in your brain because the cells, your brain cells, they do something different than ours. Your stuff shows to be superior, more superior than what we say we are. We really know that we're not superior, but as long as you don't know that you are, then we are. As long as you belie that you are inferior, then that by default makes us superior. So we're going to let you keep believing that you are that. And while you're in that disbelief, we are going to take everything we possibly can out of you genetically to recreate ourselves using your greater parts because those are the desirable traits, hence the eugenics. We just want those parts so we can recreate us that looks like us, but we really trying to be you and replace you. We just don't want to look like you. Am I making sense? I'm just trying to tell you what it is. Y'all already know. For those of you who have never been here, I appreciate you for being here. And I hope you stay. And I hope you come back again. For those of you who know me, you know me. Okay? You already know. You need not be tripping because you already know. I've done pretty well tonight because I limited my cursing. And that wasn't on purpose. But you already know eugenics is about completely eliminating a particular race of people, an ethnicity of people, which is us. They are trying to completely do a blackout where there are no more so-called black, melanated, African, Negro, Moorish, nothing that looks like us. Nothing. This is what they're attempting to do, this is what they have been attempting to do. This is the agenda. This is the goal and purpose. They are running out of time. They are running out of resources, which is themselves. They are running out of pure white people, which is what is that anyway? Everything come from darkness. So what is that? Anyway, they're running out of them. Okay. So in order to not run out of them, they're making the law so that anyone that gets pregnant cannot destroy it. You cannot depopulate us anymore. So we're going to stop you from depopulating us, and then we're going to stop y'all from repopulating. So we're going to get rid of the black man. We're going to cause the black woman to have to intermingle with us because we're going to utilize what she has in order to start our eugenic process because we can get out of her what we need, right? And then get rid of her ass too. We're not doing this, people. This is the agenda. It has been the agenda. What do we do about this? I'm going to tell you one of the solutions. First of all, brothers, stop walking away, running away, turning away from your black woman. Stop doing it. There are many things that she does not know because it is conditioned, it is made for her not to know. Most people, and I'm just going to say people, don't understand or understand why the hell they think the way they do because those thoughts don't even belong to them. They're conditioned on how to think. They're conditioned on how and when to feel. They're conditioned on how, when, and where to move, how to behave, but they don't even know it. So for those of you who know what's going on, who are enlightened by what's really going on, don't turn your back. Don't stay so angry and in your feelings that you walk away from and say, I'm done dealing because y'all don't do that. Stop treating us like we're your enemy. We are not by choice. Let me say that. We are not by choice your enemy. We are not that. Those that behave in an adversarial way have no idea what is happening with or to them. They have no idea the depth of what's happening. Stop looking at it solely on a surface level. Go deeper. Stop saying, I don't feel like it. I don't have time. I shouldn't have to. Yeah, you should, because if you don't, what's happening, this eugenics is going to happen quicker. It's going to happen. You're going to stop seeing yourselves being reproduced. There will be no more you. Hear me on that. There will be no more you. Without you and vice versa, there's no us. Get out of the mindset of what you ain't gonna do for a black woman because she angry, because she nasty, because she vile, whatever. Get out of the mindset. Overstand a little differently, a little more in depth, a little more spiritual. What's really happening? You just so happen to be looking at a sister or a group of sisters or a mass of sisters that are sleeping. They are unaware, unawakened to what is going on with them. Don't continue to treat them like the true adversary. We have been taught and conditioned to look at each other as the adversary, like we are each other's enemies, and we are not. That's the quickest way, divide and conquer. That's the quickest way to stay in control of your agenda. We want to kill y'all, and we can say that out loud. We're trying to destroy y'all. So what we're going to do is make sure that y'all hate each other. Make sure that you are always at odds. Make sure that you are never in agreement. And then we're going to pick you off one at a time. Matter of fact, we're going to cause you to pick each other off one at a time. And we're going to sit back and watch. And then we're going to give you an award. We're going to give you some type of benefit momentarily for picking this individual off because you did us a favor. We didn't have to do it. So no, normally we would probably give you, 44 life sentences. If you had picked off one of ours, you would get 44 life sentences. But because it was one of yours, we're gonna give you 25, and you can get off on parole, whatever. We'll do that for you. You're gonna serve some time though, because we got to get paid off you some kind of way. We got to get something. So you do these 25. You go ahead and get yourself physically toe up and emotionally toe up and spiritually fucked, all of that. You go do that for 25 years, and then you can come on out into society, into my society though, the world that I created. You can come on back out and you can try again. And then we're going to repeat this cycle, because I already know when you come out in this world 25 years later, you ain't going to have a clue as to how to get along in it. Ain't going to be no resources for you. There's going to be nobody there to help you. You don't know what to do. So what you going to do? You're going to repeat the cycle and end up back in there anyway. So yeah, have at it. Brothers, wake up. That's all I'm saying. Sisters, you got to do the same damn thing. Wake up. Stop instigating fights, because that's happening a lot. Stop tearing these brothers down. Stop walking over them. Stop using them. Stop being verbally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially abusive. Stop doing all of that. Look at what's happening to us. Look at what they are doing to us. Look at the fact that they are using us to do it to us. This is what's happening. They need us to die off so that they can maintain. We don't fit in their desirable, but we do have some desirable traits. So we want to get those from you, sister, Black woman. Your womb is extraordinarily strong and versatile, where you can carry multiple babies, go through traumatic experiences physically and emotionally, have no financial resources, have no man available for support or provision, and yet you still endure. You are so strong. It's something about your womb, Black woman, something about it. And we want it. And we're going to get it. We're going to snatch you up. We're going to mutilate you. We're going to take your womb and we're going to put it in something else that we created. I'm going to leave that alone. But we're going to reproduce you in a way that looks like us, but with all of your strong characteristics, all of your powerful characteristics. We're going to reproduce us with the help of you and get rid of you. We don't really need you, but we really do. But we don't really need you. We don't really want you. That's a fact. We need you. We just don't want to need you. But the fact is, we wouldn't be without you. So thanks. And how we're going to repay you, we're just going to wipe you out. Wow. Phoenix says there was a video of rich white men wanting to buy Black women eggs. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. This is the type of stuff that I'm telling you all. This is what you have to be aware of what's going on. We cannot continue to be at each other's throats over no dumb shit. We don't have time for that. This is not a cartoon. This is not a reality show. This is our reality. This is what is happening. We can't just change the channel and watch something else. This is what's happening. We are coming up missing all the time, and ain't nobody looking for us, because all they want is what they can get out of us in order to reproduce it into something else, in order to find a way for them to maintain and reproduce themselves using eugenics. We want the best of the characteristics that are within you, but that's it. I want the jelly in the donut, but I don't want the donut. So I'm going to scoop the jelly out and throw the donut in the trash. Say what you will. This is what's happening. If you all have any questions, comments, or concerns that you'd like to share, you can call 770-906-5271. I want to share something real quick that I also just happened to come across. There was another Supreme Court case in 1927. 1927. It's called Buck versus Bell. And in that, the Supreme Court ruled that forced sterilization on people that were deemed to be unfit was lawful. That meant if someone felt that a Black woman was unfit to bring forth a child, regardless of what her circumstances were, you're unfit and we're going to make you have an abortion. Matter of fact, we ain't gonna make you have an abortion. We gonna do it. We're gonna do it. And we don't have to tell you we're doing it. We don't have to ask you your permission to do it. It's just gonna get done. That was Buck versus Bell. Look it up. There was no consent. There was no knowledge. People were being experimented on. And here's another thing that I learned as well. I did not know that, and I'm sure we're gonna get some slack, or I'm gonna get some slack. There was this project Sanger was involved with as well in 1939. She began this project called the Negro Project, and that was where um, the point of it was to convince Black women to go see Black doctors, okay, to get all their advice and follow-ups and whatever from Black doctors. But the agenda behind that was to build trust. Is we're going to use the Black face to as the puppet to bring in these other Black faces, because they'll believe something or somebody that looks like them. So what we're going to say is, Black doctor, you're going to have to convince your Black people to be sterile. You're going to have to convince your Black people to stop reproducing. You're going to have to convince your Black people to do blah, 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 whatever it is. And they'll believe you, whatever you say, because you look like them. They'll trust you. To my surprise and disgrace, two of those people that were part of that, or in some kind of way, there was a connection, was W.E.B. Du Bois. There's a connection there, and Mary McLeod Bethune. How? I don't know exactly, but there was a connection there. Like I don't know, time frame might be off, I don't know, but there was a connection between the two. We have a caller. G Walker's on the line. What's going on, loved one? I apologize for that.
No, how you doing?
I'm well. How about yourself?
I'm fine. I wanted to just piggyback on what you said just a second ago, just to let the people know that you were exactly right about whatever. Let's just call it what it is. You like when you were talking about it, what it was is a bunch of melanated girls, Black girls, whatever. But just about a couple of years ago, and there was a bunch of it was happening at the malls and other places where they had the gray van. Watch out for the gray van. And there was a bunch of girls. I don't know if you remember that. They were 15, 16 years old. Some of them a little older than that. They were missing.
Yep.
They were being abducted in these gray vans, and you got white. And like you said, this is what was going on. Part of what was going on. They came out with these inflatable dolls, and I'm gonna get all into it since there's no. I'm just gonna say what I gotta say. Since you gotta. But boy, what was happening was they got these blow up dolls. The blow up doll, they were selling them to, of course, the elite or whatever you want to call them. But these people, these guys or whoever, was so sick that what they did, like you said, they was taking the fetuses and putting it into the dolls.
In dolls?
They were putting it into the dolls, and then when the guys copulate with the have sex, whatever you want to call it, with the dolls, then the doll would get pregnant.
Get out of here.
Yeah, that's what was going on. I'm just telling you. And so what you're saying is correct. What you were saying was, when you brought that out, I almost hit the roof when you said that.
Okay.
That's what was happening. Because they had it on the news. They kind of subliminally had it on the news, but I saw it. But they did have to think about the gray vans and all that stuff. But that's what they were doing, because they came out with the blow-up dolls, and then they started having articles. See, people, your cousins don't read. They had in more than one article where they were showing these blow-up dolls. Say, "Whoa, we got it now. Well, you got a dog where you actually have the live fetus." See,
wow.
But where they get it from? They've already, like you say, ain't nobody looks for Tanika. They'll look for Tanya. They ain't gonna look for Tanika.
Right.
See, and that's the thing. Like you said, nobody's gonna be looking for you. Nobody give us around flip first. But why you worry about? You can worry about who you serve. If your master is man, then that's who you worry about. That's what you try to look like. That's why you sitting around here. Everybody ain't gonna be the same. You sitting around here with I don't even want to say it because ain't nothing wrong with it, but to a certain degree, but you sitting here looking like your master subliminal. You got a mop head on your head looking like your skin is blacker than asphalt. You sit up here with yellow hair. Come on, man.
I hear you.
Trying to emulate your master. And your master, like you say, don't give a flying flip about you.
Yeah.
But basically, it's not about what they think or nobody else think. I even following the status quo. And I'm gonna say this and be done with it. It's about what you think. But if he who knows not himself don't know jack at all.
Right.
Because the beginning of all knowledge is like in Proverbs chapter Proverbs chapter 1 to verse 6. The beginning of all knowledge is the fear of the Lord. If you don't know the Lord, you don't know you anyway. I don't care whether you believe in him or not.
Right.
If you don't know God, you don't have no knowledge. So you, the first time the wind blows, that's the first thing you're gonna follow. Now you following somebody that's going to take you, like you say, to a very end, to your demise, and you following them smiling all the way.
Right.
You might as well do the black face.
Indeed. Yes, indeed.
But anyway, thank you very much. You on fire.
You very welcome. I thank you, love. Appreciate you so much.
I'm telling you, you on fire. I almost jumped through the roof when you said that because it's you are correct.
Sadly, but I appreciate you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for taking my call.
No worries, hon. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So once again, to surmise what is going on in our world, what is happening based on Roe versus Wade is them saying we are putting into effect population control. We are making it so we are no longer the minority, that we will no longer be the minority, and we will do whatever is necessary to maintain, to stay alive. They're doing what they think they got to do, right? And we're helping them by not knowing what they're doing. So I'm telling you what's happening. What's the solution? It says, I am. I am the solution. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to continue this conversation, we can do so. It won't be live. But if you want to call, text, whatever, or just go back and forth on the feed, we can do so. Again, the Roe versus Wade, Planned Parenthood, all that is not about the woman's right, or solely, okay? It's not solely about the woman's right to choose life or not to choose life if she wants to. It's about making sure that the white race does not die by any means necessary. Black people are not and have never been the minority. We have never been the minority, but this is what this is about. So now you know. Please share the information. Please share the video. If you have any questions, comments, concerns at a later time, feel free to reach out to me. I will give you what I have. I will probably post some more information on here as we go. I appreciate you all for being here. Again, those that are returning, I appreciate you for returning. For those of you who are new, I appreciate you for being here. And hopefully you have received some type of information. You have received some form of edification. Hopefully you got something. What's up, Luke Cage? You come in right when I'm about to get out of here. But hopefully you have received what you need to receive, and will definitely share this information with other people. All right? You already know. I love you on purpose, with purpose, as always. And until I see you again, peace. All right, loved ones, thank you again for being here. I'll see you soon.